Welcome YouTube, welcome Facebook, welcome Rumble. Basically, I like to talk about the inevitable curse of poverty has laid on society. As I come across this intriguing blog post from Blue Ocean Cleaning Services, and it goes in great detail how destructive poverty is on society. It goes like it's titled, Poverty is a Curse Explained. And it is cursed because it leads to inadequate schooling, low skills, insecure income, early parenthood, ill health, and early death. Now, if you go back to look at the law of Moses, basically is a covenant between God and ancient Israel. Poor people live in unhealthy, hygienic conditions and invite a host of diseases. And they also show that the condition may exist in a person who is wise or foolish, godly or otherwise, are missing in the daily routine of the poor. Poverty ruins the poor, and the Bible is rich in the wisdom about God's love for people living in poverty and about our responsibility to help poor people live, to help people live in cities such conditions and invite the host of diseases. And nobody would like to live in poverty because it's so destructive. To first identify whether or not a person is under a curse of poverty, it'll be necessary to first explain what a curse of poverty is not. The poor people are debarred from the basic necessity of life, and poors live in the sense of hopelessness and helplessness, and so due to the following reasons, we can say poverty is a curse on humanity because poverty leads to hunger and the lack of shelter. Poverty is a state or condition in which a person or community lacks the financial resources and the essentials for a minimum standard of living. For families, poverty is a trap. The poor man's poverty is his only curse, and it fills people with a sense of helplessness and hopelessness. And here's what the Bible says about poverty, which says about poverty is his only curse. It fills people with a sense of helplessness. And the Bible says about poverty is very negative. It's negative. It is evil, and it causes grief and pain. So to explain this, these days we are ascribed blessedness to possession of material possessions or material prosperity is said to exist when people lack the means to satisfy their basic needs. And they're in a situation in which they are ill-treated at almost all places. And like poor people live in such unhygienic conditions and invite a host of diseases. Poverty is only where there's a lack of resources, but also where people are not ready to fight against it. And it also like where they don't stand against it and its eradication. So due to the following reasons, we can say poverty is a curse on humanity, which was like a state I posted on 2014. Like in its context, like the identification of poor people first requires a determination of what constitutes basic needs. And it's like number one, it's like poverty leads to hunger, the lack of shelter. And like it explains like three, like poverty and its impact of poverty in India. There are there are different beliefs about the individual responsibility for poverty. The rich person's wealth is his strong city, and the Bible does warn that laziness will lead to being poor. You know, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. And if you look at like Proverbs 24, verse 33 to 34, which states, you know, like good health, drinking water, eccentric, and it really hinders growth, fuse, and stability, and keeps poor countries from achieving and advancing on the path to sustainable development. So, due to the following reasons, we can say poverty is a curse on humanity. And it's like, we could say, you know, it is a curse on humanity because, like, the Webster's 1828 dictionary, which is used King James Version Bible to explain the definition. You know, which poverty is scarcity of need of life that tears the cloth of life into pieces, thereby making eye wet and inserting deep pain into feelings. And nobody really wants to live in poverty. And poverty can also result from foolishness. And the one who chases fantasies will have his fill of poverty, you know, as it's stated in Proverbs 28, chapter 28, verse 19. The poor do not have a proper roof on their heads to protect themselves from the cold, rain, and heat, and of course, sometimes being the poor, sometimes the poor do not have a proper roof, or it's of course, it's sometimes being poor is a result of bad choices. Important questions are like which is class, mine like social science. A curse of poverty is not living an undisciplined life, and it is important. It's important because believes is the curse of poverty is a curse to utter a wish of evil against someone, to utter or call for mischief or injury that can cause one to fall, to vex or arrest, and by all means to bring people into great calamities. And this leaves them unaware about the opportunities in life. And poverty is a curse upon humanity because the dictionary explains that it's it's it explains it's general scarcity or dearth, or a state of one who lacks a certain amount of material possessions, and they lack the medical facilities, and they die of diseases and want of timely or proper treatment. And basically, read the common accompanying newsletter, for August, and they are excluded from enjoying social Lord's dispensed blessings and curses based on ancient Israel's observance of the law of Moses, which is in Deuteronomy. People have to go through various human sufferings, and the poverty is one of. To continue in chapter 11, the curse of poverty is a curse upon humanity. So to explain the principal measures taken in Punjab, Kerala, and the West Bengal to reduce poverty, the colonial rule and the income inequalities as causes of poverty, and the rule of employment generation program, which was started by government to reduce poverty. And one of the biggest challenges of independent Indian has been to bring millions of people out of abject poverty, interpreted by social scientists. So I'm going to go down further in the article, which you can probably read it there, which states that poverty is a curse, and we can fight it against it. We can fight it with the power of Almighty of God, in Yeshua's name. A blessed woman in God. The rich man's wealth is a strong city, and the destruction of the poor is their poverty, which is like a reflect on these biblical verses and pray for children and families and communities in need. So to explain, like many today are just lazy and refuse to work, choosing rather to live off the benevolence of others. And like poverty is a curse on humanity, by explaining, by giving two examples. Jesus paid the full price in full, so we could exchange the curse for the blessing. Poor people have to go through various human sufferings, and like families above the poverty line by organizing them into self-help groups through the mix of bank credit, government subsidies, and we can find this to be true when we look at job stories. The masses work hard, and the wealth of the rich is their bastion. And poverty is the ingredient, is their ruins, which is the answer. Poverty is a curse on humanity, which is now can be defined a curse in the contents of outside original sin or outside the fallen nature. And like poverty is not really a teaching tool of God, and is not a vow we should take, and it is not a blessing in disguise. The curse of the law as described in Deuteronomy chapter 28 involves three things. Number one, death. Number two, sickness and disease. And three, poverty. Poverty is more than a lack of resources, as it is a state of insecurity where the poor remains poor because they are unsecured and depressed with worries all around, powered by discourse, dispute like with poverty is a curse on humanity, and he lacked the medical facilities and died diseases in want of timely and proper treatment there, which sometimes doesn't happen. So quite obviously, poverty is a curse because poor parents are not able to send their children to school, and they are not able to send their kids to college due that they have money issues and they lack money. So they in some cases they can't really afford to pay the bills, and they go into debtor and huge debtor, and it's such a hindrance. So I probably put a few more articles which I came across this, which another article back in 2021 or February 10th, and it's like states from NWO report says like 8 million more living in poverty, and 9 million small businesses are in danger of closing, and 10 million are behind in rent. And it's astonishing how just 2 years, which we went in this destructive phase of life, and basically with a great awakening, where people are waking up to all this nonsense and are starting to push back. And there are ways out of poverty, as I'll probably discuss on my future videos, or because my name is William Drosky. I provide credit restoration to individuals that have poor credit, and also provide them the path of entrepreneurship and greater cash flow and way to self-employment there. So don't forget to shake the money tree and subscribe to my videos. Don't forget to share my videos far and wide, because I empower people out of the empowerer's path with entrepreneurism, and also state with embracing entrepreneurship, which have groups on Facebook, groups on locals.com, embracing entrepreneurship, and have embracing entrepreneurship on MeWe, as well with the Smoosh social media there. So I hope this is going to be enlightening, which gives you more awareness on the problems and the crisis that we face. So don't forget to shake the money tree and share this video far and wide.